What up, though? It's Drake again, and I am here this morning. Well, you don't know this morning, but I know this morning. I literally just rolled out of the bed, and I'm continuing with this experiment of just getting on, turning my camera on, and really just being who I am and I, thinking out loud. I call it the Black Interior. That was quite organic, and I didn't really think about what that meant, but it can mean a lot of things. It can mean physical interior, it could be the interior of my mind, it could be, my emotional interior, and, a whole bunch of things, but I guess one thing, I think about is, mortality. I got a call from my buddy from Atlanta who's a Detroit native, and yesterday told me his father passed yesterday. And I saw a post that, another one of my college buddies' fathers passed. And all these people, we're in the same age range. My parents are in their age range. I was at my buddy's birthday yesterday, saw his dad dancing. He was grooving, and here I am, I'm looking at him, and I was thinking, my father has mobility issues and he can't dance like that. And his dad was spry and, in his 80s and just grooving. And I'm thinking, this guy has a lot more life. And here he is, less than 9 months later, gone. So the intellectual godfather of my alma mater, Morehouse, said that a young man may die, but an old man must. And, of course, that's poetic because everybody must die, old or young. But I know what he meant. He said, somebody old has definitely got their days numbered. Somebody young may pass, but an old person is definitely on the fast track to the other side, to the next plane. And so, I'm grappling with that. I'm grappling with my own mortality. One of the things, that I want to do is find balance. I have a friend who told me that her sister does all the healthy things, and she has 2 or 3 sisters. She has 3 siblings, 2 sisters. She says out of all her siblings, the one who has always tried to be the healthiest has somehow been the most unhealthy. She has the most ailments. And it made me think, like, wow, you want to strike a balance. You want to strike a balance in life. So much of it is left up to chance. You just want to put yourself in the best position to A, stay here, and B, enjoy it. Longevity has its place, but then sometimes you think, no matter how long you live, it's a short ride. I don't care if you live to be 10 or 100. It's really all short when you think about the life of a tree. The life of a plant. Some plants live short lives, obviously. I got these house plants in here, but we're only here but a minute. My father has a saying, it's like when folks pass and you think, man, that person's been gone for 2 years, and you think, no, they've been gone for 5 years. He likes to say, when you're dead a long time. Yeah, you are, because you are dead a long time. That's the one thing about death, is the finality of it, and you're never going to see that person again, at least in this realm that we know of. And so it's sad. You could do all the right things and still get a bad result. Something else my dad says. So, but with that being said, I want to optimize my time here. I got a belly. I just had an appointment with the cardiologist last week. He said all things look good, but since you had an incident, which I did in 2017, 9 years ago, I need you to get your cholesterol numbers down. And so I had not been adherent to a plan that I made myself, which is 4 days out the week, I'm all plant-based, and then maybe on the weekends I eat what I want. I hadn't been adhering to that. I've been eating what I want all throughout the week, but I'm about to get to it. And I'm also going to take my meds. Modern medicine has, I don't necessarily like the idea of taking a pill, but I will take that pill. I will take that pill and to keep my cholesterol down. But my grandfather, my maternal grandfather, who lived to be 97, who they speculate had a heart attack around the same area of time as I did. I guess they were able to tell by the EKG or something like that, but echocardiogram, yes, that he had a heart attack. I think he was in his 50s. He lived to be 97. Always had a cholesterol issue, but he refused to take any drugs. In fact, he challenged the doctor, which, hey, I love that. He said, look, I'm going to try oatmeal. And he did. He did his oatmeal thing for, like, I don't know how long he did, but it brought his numbers down so low that he went back to the doctor, and the doctor was like, this is amazing. So I know, although in my family, cholesterol runs high, on my mother's side, I know that, a natural remedy is oatmeal. And so I'm gonna eat my oatmeal, and I'm gonna take my one, atorvastatin, my statin. I'm gonna take that to make certain that I keep my cholesterol low. But I'm also I'm gonna get my exercise in. I need an accountability partner. So anybody out there who's challenged, listen, I'm not talking about nothing big. There's some people out here trying to, run the Ironman challenge and, do this, do that. But baby steps. Baby steps. Consistency is more important than, you know, these acrobatic Ironman type, highly physical, programs. Although I do want to get into some strength training. I got me some kettlebells that I'm about to start using. But I'm gonna do that here in this space. So some of this won't just be about conversation. At some point, I want to do demonstration, and I do want to, I want to start editing some of this stuff. I want to make certain that I'm sharing with you, but we're sharing with each other. I'm looking for folks who are an audience of people who are with me, who still like to read, who still like to, who might be 50 plus, but are still, or 40 plus, doesn't matter, 60 plus, doesn't matter where you are in life, how old you are in life, but that you're adventurous, you want to explore, you want to see the other side. You don't want to just see what is, told to you. Yeah, so that's what I want to do. But I want to stay healthy because I want to see the world. I feel so invigorated when I travel. But I don't want to just travel. I want to, and I'm putting this out here because I'm hopeful that there's people out here who are just like me, who are listening to me. I've been to Portugal, I've been to the Netherlands, Rotterdam and Amsterdam. I've been to Cairo. I've been to Bangkok. I've been to, London. I've been to those places. But there's a lot of places I have not been. I have what I call a lot of travel blind spots. I haven't been to Mexico yet. Been to Canada. I've been to, Canada. I've been to, Toronto, Montreal. I want to go to some of the other places. I've never been to Vancouver. I would like to visit, Montana. I want to go to different places in the United States, right here in these US of A. In the US of A. But there's a lot of things I want to do. I want to stay healthy. I want to, health is wealth. But I also want to gain some wealth, not just for wealth's sake. I want to be able to make certain that I can do for my family. I don't have any children, but I do have family. I have, godchildren, I have aging parents. I have a sister. I have nephews who are both very self-sufficient. They'll never need anything from me, but, if they do, I want to be able to make certain that I can take care of them. And eventually I want to get married again. And if not married, I want to just have, a life companion. And that's not something I take lightly. I want to, I think I had a good marriage with my late wife, who made her departure from this plane almost 8 years to the day on August 30th of 2018 is when she passed, and I'm recording this today, August 24th. And yeah, I don't know how many more summers I have. I hope I'll have many more, but at 57, who knows? But I'm going to try my best, and I'm going to lay it out all here just as I go along. I'm laying it out. I'm talking about my thoughts. I don't necessarily have fears. These are just thoughts. Anyway, that's all I got. I hope y'all are having a wonderful day. Take some inspiration from me in that you can get up. If I can get up, I'm not, I'm not anybody, to say this, like, in terms of, nobody knows who I am, and I'm still doing this. So take, some inspiration from that. I'm talking into a camera, and not a single person knows who the hell I am, and I'm still doing it. So if I feel that I have a story that matters, I hope that you feel and know that you have a story that matters too. And with that, I'll see you on the next video.